Hi again, everybody, and welcome into MASL TV tonight. The Kansas City Comets, with a record of 4-5, are going to host their Eastern rivals, the Milwaukee Wave, who come up with a record of 6-2. Alongside Eric Bergerud, I'm Nick Vassos. Let's first talk about Milwaukee, and we'll talk about Ian Bennett in a moment here. But Milwaukee lost at home again for the second time against St. Louis. It
was a crazy game. They were down 6-1. They went 6 attacker. They came back. They tied. They went ahead. St. Louis tied it right in regulation, and on a quick restart by Tony Walls, St. Louis hit one in. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. We always have to keep our eyes on number 26, don't we, Eric?
Yeah, fantastic player. He brings it every time. The respect that he has, I was out here early, and when he came out for warm-ups, the respect he has from Comets players and vice versa, they know he's the real deal.
Yeah, no doubt. Ian Bennett is one to watch tonight. Now for Kansas City, let's first talk about one of the newcomers. Kevin Ellis didn't have such a good game his first game, but his second game was quite different.
So we saw him here against Milwaukee. He was shaking the rust off last game. He scored any possible way. He scored with his head. He scored up in the top shelf. He scored on the ground. 5 goals, reigning MASL Player of the Week.
Yeah, and we get to see a new player tonight for the Comets. This is a player that a lot of people have been saying lots of positive things about. Tell us about the new goalkeeper for KC.
So Nicolau Neto, we've been waiting on his visa. We announced last game it was going to be close. It will be the 4th starting goalkeeper the Comets have fielded this year. He played his college at Columbia up the road on I-70, and he played this summer for Call Valley in the USL 2. Great with his feet. What a presence. And we've been hearing from people, just wait till he comes in, wait till he comes in. Throwing him in against Milwaukee. We'll see how he does.
It's going to be another great match between these two Eastern rivals. Kansas City and Milwaukee is coming up next.
From Buenos Aires, Argentina, number 10, midfielder Lucas Rodriguez. From Kansas City, Missouri, number 15, defender Matt Lewis. From Santiago, Chile, number 23, defender Nacho Flores. From Santiago, Chile, number 24, defender Mirko Sandavari. From Kansas City, Missouri, number 25, midfielder Ray Sari. From Aguas Calientes, Mexico, number 30, midfielder Hector Solorio. From Kansas City, Missouri, number 28, goalkeeper Lou Meisner. And now for tonight's starting lineup. From Trinidad and Tobago, number 11, forward Kyle Williams. From Medellin, Colombia, number 19, defender and team captain John Sousa. From Belgrade, Serbia, number 20, forward Stefan Stokic. From Kansas City, Missouri, number 18, forward and your MASL Player of the Week, Kevin Ellis. From Kingston, Jamaica, number 51, defender Robert Palmer. And making his first start with the Comets from Juazeiro do Norte, Brazil, number 1, goalkeeper Nicolau Neto. And from from Monrovia, Liberia, number 14, Comets forward and head coach. Please welcome Leo Gibson. The Comets goalkeeper coach is former Comets legend Alan Mayer. Assistant goalkeeper coach is Kenny Mayer. The Comets head athletic trainer is Sean Doomers, and Comets equipment manager is Butch Schumann. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's hear it here at 2020 Kansas City Comets. Please remain standing, remove your caps, and direct your attention to the American flag above section 116 and 117. And please join us in paying respect to our colors as the Belinder Elementary School Choir from Prairie Village, Kansas performs our national anthem. A big thank you to Belinder Elementary School Choir from Prairie Village for singing our national anthem. That's the 4th time we've had them here on the turf at Silverstone Ice Centers Arena.
And a very good evening, everybody, and welcome inside Silverstone Ice Centers Arena. Great to have you here for another hot winter night here in Kansas City. It is the Kansas City Comets hosting the Milwaukee Wave. The Comets with a 4-5 record, and the Wave check in with a record of 6-2. Great to be paired again with Eric Bergrud. And Eric, the Comets are coming off a big victory over the Orlando Seawolves, where they created a lot of momentum, and they're going to have a full complement of players back tonight.
All sorts of players. We saw the Kevin Ellis last game that we had seen last season, 5 goals, reigning MASL Player of the Week. We saw Ray Lee once again deliver in the back. I think his line, the Matt Lewis and Ray line, are going to be the critical one to watch in this game. But there are healthy Comets on the team, which is fantastic.
It's going to be great to see how they move the ball from the back across the half line and into the offensive zone. There's a live look at the Player of the Week, Kevin Ellis, right there, along with Kyle Williams and the rest of his teammates. The Comets are debuting a new goalkeeper tonight. Tell us about him. A lot of praise for this kid.
Yeah, Nicolau Neto. So the type of Brazilian goalkeeper we've come to expect now, MASL, really good with his feet. We saw in the last game here how Meissner was pressed often by forwards Bennett and Ferdinand. We'll see if Nato can break that press. It worked for Milwaukee that last game. We're hopeful that Nato delivers in his MASL debut.
The organization had to go through a lot in order to get Nicolau Neto into the lineup today. We'll watch him very closely, but there's a lot of people who have been watching this kid, not just recently, but even going back to last year. Last year's head coach, Kim Runfed, saw this kid, loved what he saw about him, wanted to sign him. He had some visa problems coming in, but he is ready to go. And we thought that we might not see him him until Monday's game for a Martin Luther King game in Milwaukee, but tonight he's going to go ahead, he's going to get the start, and he's going to have a full complement of players in front of him. Let's talk about the Milwaukee Wave, Eric. They come in with a 6-2 record, and again, a stunning loss at home to the St. Louis Ambush.
Well, I admit I was flipping between football and that game. They were down. They put on the 6 attacker. It wasn't looking good. And then I kept seeing they're scoring and scoring and scoring. All of a sudden, they're ahead of St. Louis, and they couldn't hold on. The one thing I took from that game that I thought would be critical for this is a lot of what happens in arena soccer is reaction time. And whoever thinks first sometimes creates opportunities. Tony Walls, who's having a bang-up year for St. Louis, took a quick restart before anybody got set in Milwaukee. St. Louis scored. We'll see how fast both teams think tonight.
You saw a picture there, number 26, Ian Bennett. Ian is always a person to watch out. He's one of the most dynamic players in the MASL. Also, Max Ferdinand is on the carpet, and here he is with the ball. He is second in assists in the MASL. In the corner, Stefan Stokic returns to the lineup, and Nicolau Neto gets his first touch on the ball, gets tangled up with Vandegrift, and a whistle and a foul is finally called. And who are they going to say this is against? They're going to say it's against Kansas City.
Looks like right outside the box, Nick. Right in the corner. Dangerous situation. Comets going to have to pack in tight. We'll see if Ferdinand goes out to his buddy Bennett here.
A couple players out from Milwaukee tonight. Mario Alvarez, he was severely injured in a rough tackle in that game against St. Louis. He broke a bone and also tore a ligament in his knee. He is out, going to be out for the rest of the season. And Stefan St. Louis, who was involved in that tackle, got a 1-game suspension. And some fans and maybe some from the Milwaukee organization thought that should have been more. Restart to Milwaukee in the corner. Ferdinand behind the ball. He's got Bennett almost directly in front of him. Now tried to knock it through and an own goal. Milwaukee. Ferdinand got it into the box. Sosa was coming back, and he actually touched the ball back into the goal. It's an own goal, and Milwaukee strikes first. It is 1-0 Wave.
Well, so Neto will get credit for that foul, which led to this. Nothing he could do on that goal. You know, Bennett was going to get involved in this. He was creeping from back post. We'll check here on the replay. Technically, it's an own goal, but it will count as a Milwaukee goal.
And we think Ferdinand will get credit for the goal.
Ferdinand will get credit for the goal.
Yeah.
So I think Sosa kept one eye on Bennett in the corner, lost his focus on the ball, and there it is.
He knew Bennett was going to flash in there to the middle and try to cut off the pass, and his momentum carried him down.
Well, you flagged Bennett pregame, Nick, as a player to watch, and there you go. You have to watch him, and in that case, maybe watched him too closely.
Ian Bennett has 14 goals so far this season. In 21 games last year, 47 goals and 10 assists, and always knocking on the door as a most valuable player in the MASL. Here's Neto way out of his line. We're going to get to see his feet here.
Yeah, watch his first touches. He looks very comfortable with the ball at his feet, and he's playing a lot further out than you see some goalkeepers in the first 3 quarters.
No question. Rafa Diaz, he's starting in goal once again for the Wave. Here comes Marcio Liete. He was out last week against St. Louis. On over to Chino. Off the boards, and Neto slams the door there. Comets come up with the ball.
He's also a big body, 6'4".
No
Covers
kid.
a lot of that goal, Nick.
Here's Ray Lee. Milwaukee high pressuring KC, trying to win the ball back. LSO comes up with his tripped up. No call. Both teams play on. Ray Lee trying to settle it. LSO gets back up on that blue turf and wins the ball back for the Wave. Just underway here in the first quarter. It's Milwaukee 1 and Kansas City 0.
They've already shifted lines. We got the lineups before. We saw that Lee was going to be posted up with Lewis, and they've already made some adjustments here. Lee playing a little bit higher, Berto in the back.
You know what? The full complement of players back for Kansas City, they're able to play their natural positions. What we've come to settle in here is Stefan Stokic and Leo Gibson here trading at the forward position, with Stefan being a defensive runner. And then they have 3 lines at midfield and 2 on the back line.
Well, we saw the last Milwaukee game, Stokic doing those defensive runs, and he actually scored a goal for Leo. He was out last game. Hector Solorio took that role, got a lot of minutes for Coach Gibson.
Speaking of Solorio, he is in the lineup tonight. He's playing for Robert Kelly, who is not feeling very well. There's been a round of sickness that's gone through the Comets this week. In fact, it bothered Leo Gibson last week, but he's better. And here comes Ray Sari. Ray Sari, one of the more promising players the Comets have seen this year. He's back in there after struggling with turf toe over the last couple of weeks. Now Sosa winds up and hammers one wide to the left. Comes off the boards to Hans Dennison. Dennison tried to clear it. KC holds it in. Now Gibson lays it off to Sari. Sari on the right wing. Marked closely there. Now leaves it for Gibson. Gibson bangs it off the boards through the area. And then over to Sosa. Sosa will shield away the defender. And plays it back to Sari. Comets will go for changes. Sosa, Sari, and Berto go off. Matt Lewis, Ray Lee, and Kevin Ellis come on. Ellis has the ball, the reigning player of the week. 5 goals last week against Orlando. Now Ray Lee, front and center to Kyle Williams. Kyle will touch it all the way back to Ellis. There are 2 other games going on in the MASL tonight. Utica is at St. Louis. That game kicks off in a couple of minutes at 7:35, and then on the West Coast, it is Turlock, and actually Turlock visits Monterey at 8:05 later on tonight.
Good luck to you, Turlock.
Yeah, Monterey 12-0.
They are unbelievable at home.
What did they have? A 5-0 lead on Ontario just the other night, and they came raging back, and they ended up beating Ontario. They look like the real deal this year. There's Lucas Rodriguez back into the Comets lineup. Lucas has it near side.
And it seems like Milwaukee's already showing respect to Nato. They're not pressing as much as you might expect on a rookie goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm. And boy, that was their MO the last time they were here, wasn't it?
For sure.
They had Lou Meisner in goal, and Milwaukee was just going to high pressure the you-know-what out of the Comets.
Good ball.
Oh, what a ball. Back to Nacho. Does he have a chance? Nacho had an amazing game last week against Orlando. Now a chance. Oh, my goodness. Ellis almost scored from the seat of his pants again. Comets still banging the ball out in front. Ray Lee is there. Shoots. Save made by Rafa.
Tried to place it. Rafa read it. Great save.
9:50 to play in the first. 1-0 Milwaukee.
Something we were talking about last game. Ray Lee scoring from the defensive position. It's critical that Comets get the ball to him and to their defenders because Milwaukee is so organized defensively. Sometimes you just can't get the ball to your forward.
Boy, Neto challenging Chino, and Neto helping get the ball back for Kansas City. Neto scrambles back to cover his line. Over to Nacho. Nacho across the half line forward to Kyle Williams. Comets with some good ball movement here early. Leo's pass into the corner a bit too strong and to the left, and it sails out of bounds. It'll turn over to the Wave with 9:16 to play in the first.
I don't know if it's just me, Nick, but normally if you'd see a rookie goalkeeper with the ball at his feet, the veteran players are like, no, get rid of it. It seems to be some calm on the field right now with Neto in goal.
They've been training quite a bit with Neto leading up to this first game debut for Nicolau Neto. Comets lose the ball, and Chino gets hammered down to the ground by Kyle Williams, and that was a rough foul there. Actually, Perea got knocked down.
If they don't give a blue card, it wasn't that bad a foul, Nick.
That was right there in that professional foul zone, wasn't it? On the field for the Comets, Sosa, Williams, Stokic, Adam James, and Berto. For Milwaukee, Perea, LSO, Marcio Liete, Chad Vandegrift, and Alex Bradley. With Rafa in goal for the Wave and Neto in goal for the Comets. 2 Brazilian goalkeepers. Perea centers it into the middle. Stokic is there. Comets get it to Berto. On back to James. Headed forward to Williams, but cut off by the Wave. Comets take it back.
Good one-touch soccer here from both teams, particularly from the Comets.
Couple changes there for KC. Ray Lee comes back on. Berto goes off. Matt Lewis back on. Neto forward. Gets it up to Lucas Rodriguez, and he's fouled immediately there by Luan Salas Oliveira. Now down to Gibson. Gibson away from the goal to Lewis. Lewis, the KC correction, That's Ray Sorry.
Good to see Lucas Rodriguez out there again. Comets have definitely missed him. They've missed Sosa too, particularly on restarts.
One goal by Max Ferdinand. Here's Ray Sorry trying to go over the top of Rafa, and Rafa stuck that bear claw up there and swatted it away. Good touch there by Ray Sorry. Now back. Oh, Gibson almost got the rebound. Another shot, save! Or maybe a block by Bradley. Now Gibson once again in the middle. Now to Lewis, who shoots, and that one blocked out of bounds. Wow, lots of chances there for KC.
Strong team defense, strong goalkeeping. I think it's worth remembering. You talked about Kevin Ellis being the reigning MASL Player of the Week. Who was it the week before? Rafa was.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's take a look on the replay. Lewis, we knew he had to start to press. Gibson was a little wide. Sorry, got blocked. Another good save here in the live action from Rafa.
Rafa Diaz. He is standing on his head early in this game. This is his 7th start of the year. He is 6-0, and his goals against average is 3.6. He saves 77% of his shots. Restart KC. Volley by Gibson off the top of the glass. Milwaukee tries to clear. Gibson holds it in with the header. Now Bennett. Back to Bennett. Bennett shoots. Save! Neto! Cleared away by Kansas City, but held in by Milwaukee's Chino.
Good job by Kyle Williams tracking back, too. Forced Bennett to take that shot. Neto had that covered.
Good placement there by Ian Bennett. You know, you don't always have to hit the ball hard. It's a good location. Location. And he almost got it by Neto that time. That's where that 6'4" frame comes in handy there for Neto. Chino forward, looking for Wiedebach. Now Berto off the boards to himself. Nacho with a touch. Wiedebach kicks it back towards the Comets half. Nacho now with a touch. 6 minutes and 42 seconds left to play in the first. Next dead ball, we'll have a official timeout. Neto with a good ball to Nacho. Nacho down the right side. Puts on the brakes, back to the defender. Chad Vandergrift's got a mark on Nacho. And Nacho will set up the Comets offense. Into the middle it comes to Adam James. Adam James turns, faces. Now leaves it for Berto.
Worth mentioning that once again, Alan Matangu, former great Comets player, is on the bench tonight as assistant coach.
And Matingu also doing some coaching collegiately too. Is he not, Eric?
Well, he stopped with us. He's been coaching with a youth club, KC Athletics in Kansas City.
Okay.
And I think his playing days, I don't know that he formally retired, but
he told me today, or just before the game here, that he's taking a year off right now. So maybe he hasn't quite decided yet.
Right.
Gibson in the corner, marked by Liete. Boy, those two have battled many games before. Foul called on Milwaukee. Max Ferdinand doesn't agree. And that gets going to go against Max. So Comets will have a chance here on the restart. Leo's going to trigger the restart. Sosa is on the floor, so this is a bit different setup for the Comets. Here's Leo. Over to Lucas. Lets it roll through. Now Sosa with a drive. Rafa! Another save.
Rafa saw that one well. That was well placed. Trying to go across the goal, across the body.
Comets with several good chances here in the first to get this game tied. Max Ferdinand has the lone goal. It was an own goal on the restart about 6-7 minutes ago.
Going back to that last game a couple weeks ago, we had a lot of young players in there. And you look today, you see a Kevin Ellis, a Leo Gibson, a Kyle Williams, Lucas Rodriguez back, John Sosa back. That has to breed confidence that you have players who have been mainstays for the Comets here against one of the best teams in this league's history.
We were talking to Brian Budzinski before the game, and he pointed out that, you know, if you're Giuliano Oliviero, Wave head coach, the scouting report is out the window. There are 7 new players on the field for Kansas City, so it's a completely different look for Milwaukee in this game than it was the last time when the Wave came in here and won 8-3.
And we've seen the last couple games, Coach Gibson's changing some of his tactics. He's been playing deep in the second half. We'll see if he does that again here today. He rolled that out against Milwaukee a couple weeks ago. Chess game we're watching. It's supposed to be an arena soccer game. I think it's a chess game with grown-up pieces, Nick.
Comets fans, this is your opportunity right now to do a little seat upgrade. Who wants to win a seat upgrade right now?
All right, let's check in with Steve Serrano.
Seat in the house between both benches so you can hear all the action. So we're going to go to the video board here in just seconds, and we're going to see if we can land with our moving on up slot machine. Hopefully it will land on you. All right, let's see if this is your seat, your section. Section. Oh, this is a tough one, Nate. This is tough. Section 113, row R, seat 2. If that is you, congratulations. At the end of this quarter, you're going to meet us just outside of section 102. We're going to escort you right between both benches, and you've got your seat upgrade with our slot machines moving on up. Nate, back to you.
Thank you, Steve. Steve Serrano of Bankside 3.3 provides all of our pregame music, so we love having Steve around. He'll be back.
That's a part of our game day experience there. Steve Serrano is our man amongst the crowd, and then our public address announcer, Mr. Nate Herron, back again this year. It's great to have Nate back and his antics there on the microphone. Even talking to the other team when they had some pregame introductions there, talking to Chad Vandegrift when he led the Milwaukee Wave out on the floor. Good stuff here at Silverstein Ice Centers Arena. Once again, like the last time, or like last week on Friday night, there's some bit of weather in the area, so we don't have a full complement of fans here that we would typically have here at Silverstein because we had some icing conditions this morning. The temperature has gotten above freezing here tonight, so the roads are fine, but I think the weather sort of scared away some of the fans here who are going to stay home and probably watching us here on MASL TV.
I hope they are, Nick. I actually left earlier than I did. I was surprised that the traffic wasn't that bad, so yeah. I got here pretty easily, pulled into the parking lot. The road crews, both the Missouri Department of Transportation, City Road Crews did a fantastic job getting the streets and highways in good shape for tonight's drive.
Tip of the cap for all those crews out there, both sides of the state line. And oh yeah, we want to welcome all of our friends in the Milwaukee area watching tonight on MASL TV, and those of you who might be watching in other parts of the country. Great to have you here on MASL TV for this game between the Comets and the Wave. Kansas City 4-5, Milwaukee 6-2. Milwaukee has been great on the road, but what's unusual about the Wave this year is that they are 1-2 at UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. They have lost to the Florida Tropics, and they've lost to the St. Louis Ambush, who, by the way, just picked up forward Anthony Grant, who used to play for the Comets. The Comets traded Anthony Grant to St. Louis for future considerations. Here's Ellis. No, Sosa breaking out, and he lost the ball to Rafa.
I was trying to come up with a clever tweet when I saw that one, and it just escaped me. So good luck to Mr. Grant with his new team.
Oliveira up to section 120, and goalkeeper distribution coming up. Boy, I tell you, LSO has had a terrific start to the season. He's got 13 goals, 4 assists in 8 games. Last year in 22 games, he had only 10 goals and 13 assists. So he's off to a terrific start for the Wave.
It was impressive against the Comets a couple weeks ago. They just have on every level, forward, midfielder, defender, goalkeeper. Just so much talent.
Great talent on this Wave team. Here's Matt Lewis. Matt Lewis is double teamed and then chopped down by Marcio Leite.
John Sosa's calling for it. He's like, I want it. Coach, let me do it. Coach is like.
Well, they give it to Lucas, and Lucas banged it off of a Wave player. And then both teams are scrambling for the loose ball, and a foul called on Kansas City's Leo Gibson. Oliveira shaking up just a little bit. Looks like he may have banged knees with Leo.
That game a couple weeks ago was kind of, it started off slowly, not a lot of goals, and then all of a sudden Milwaukee poured it on in the fourth. So it's just interesting. That first goal was unfortunate. It's been a pretty even played match so far, both teams.
Yeah, no doubt. that last game with the Wave, it was the 8-3 score. I think I've said it before. It's really not indicative of how close the game was. And keep in mind, the Comets were without a half a dozen players in that game. So, kudos to KC for hanging in there with a talented, experienced Milwaukee team who always plays well on the road. Here's Matt Lewis battling with Hans Dennison. Lewis will touch it back to Nacho. Crowd getting the Comets fired up here as they press forward. Under 2 minutes to play in the first. 1-0 Milwaukee over Kansas City. Here's Neto. Neto up to Leo. Leo chested back for Ray Lee. Now LSO touches it up and out of bounds, and restart to KC. Nacho gets it underway quickly to Berto.
Who had a birthday this week. It would be a sweet birthday week if he could get a win for sure and a goal on top of that.
Happy birthday. Now Ellis battling with Derek Huffman. Bennett. Dennison. Liete. 1 minute, 9 seconds left. Here's Ali Berry. Into the game for the first time. On back to Chino.
1 minute remaining.
Comets trying to make it 2 in a row. These two teams are back at it again on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. That'll be on Monday at 11:07 MASL TV. We'll have that for you. Stand by for Mr. Tom Wynn, one of the best in all of the MASL. We'll have the call for you. I chatted with Tom. We traded texts earlier this week. Always great to hear from him. He is the dean of announcers in the MASL.
What strength there, not just upper body strength, but footwork strength there from Neto with a defender all over him.
24 seconds left. Ray Lee. And the Comets equalize here in the first. Ray Lee with a drive. Rebound goes in, blocked by Milwaukee. Kyle Williams still battling. 13 seconds left in the first. Chino trying to dig it out. Kyle Williams is there trying to get it to Gibson. Deflects out of bounds, and who's it going to go to? It's going to stay with Kansas City with 6.5 seconds left in the first.
Nice throw.
And once again, John Sosa comes on the field.
I can't see who's in the corner there, Nick.
We've got a shaken up player on the field, and Milwaukee's training staff comes out to attend here. Let's see if maybe we can get, I don't know if we've got a camera that can get into the right wing corner there to see who may be shaken up on the play, because we can't see it from our vantage point. It looks like it might be Chino. Angel Curiel, also known as Chino. There's head coach Giuliano Oliviero, and LSO to his right. They're looking at his, apparently they're looking at his knee.
I was following the ball to see who kicked it out of play, and I missed that. But he's up and walking off on his own accord.
That is good news. He does have some athletic tape on that knee as well, so don't know if that was bothering him coming into the game, but looks like he's moving pretty good. And he's got the thumbs up here, so looks like he might come back into the game after a quick break. 6.5 seconds left here in the first. Chino goes off.
It's like a John Sosa restart.
Sosa behind the ball. Sosa off the boards, into the middle. 3 seconds, 2, and that's going to do it. Horn sounds, and that is the end of the first quarter, with Milwaukee leading Kansas City by a score of 1-0. A very, very competitive first quarter. Fun quarter. Some good soccer there in the first 15 minutes. We will toss it over to Steve Serrano, who has got our defender sweep.
Correct, because Comets fans, Domino's of Kansas City have graciously donated their suite this season to honor the men and women who defend our country. The Comets and Domino's recognize local veterans for their service. Today, help me welcome Jason Estes to the Domino's Defender Suites. Jason joined the United States Navy in June of 2000. Jason worked on the flight deck and landing signalman and aircraft director, helping safely launch and recover aircraft during more than 10,000 hours of flight operations. Jason left active duty in June of 2004 to join the reserves right here in Belton. He's currently a mailman for the United States Post Office and currently lives right here in Independence with his wife and his 2 children. Comets fans, one more time, let's give a big round of applause for Jason and all that he's done for us. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm just doing this. I'm like, just doing this.
All right, thank you, Steve Serrano. Always great to see the Domino's Defender Suite and the Comets honoring an area veteran tonight. And we also want to thank our partnership with Team Fidelis. They're a local organization that helps in preventing suicide to our military members, their families and friends, and they do so much great work in our area. And they bring veterans and their families to this game. Team Fidelis is all about veterans getting out in the community, getting involved, getting engaged, breaking that isolation that can lead to so many problems for veterans who aren't feeling well mentally. So we thank Team Fidelis and we thank all of the veterans out there who may be watching this broadcast. We appreciate your service so very much. All right, live look there at the Comets huddle right there. What do you think of the first 15 minutes? Comets are trailing by 1, but looked pretty good there, don't you think?
I spent a lot of time looking at Neto. Just wanted to see if the hype was real. He was very calm there. Again, that goal was not his fault, although technically he did cause the foul before, but
yeah,
nothing he could do on that goal. Strong with his feet. I think the Comets had their chances. Not only did Rafa come up big, but the Milwaukee defense got several blocks there in the first period.
You know, for this being his first game in an indoor game, crowd, big field, all of that stuff, lights, the kid looks pretty calm out there.
He does. And something I've noticed in terms of shots on goal, Milwaukee totally dominated the Comets 2 weeks ago, shots on goal. The Comets are up 7 shots to 3. So the Comets have gotten their chances. Rafa's come up big.
Oh, no doubt about it. That's Eric Bergrud. I'm Nick Vassos. Our director this evening is Mr. Brad Zimmerman. And we're great to have you here on MASL TV. We'll try to get a score for you if there is one in our other game going on in this hour, and that is Utica is at St. Louis. In fact, Utica is going to spend the weekend in St. Louis. They've got a game tonight down at St. Louis, and then they're going to play Sunday afternoon. So we'll try to get you an update on that. Keepers switch ends. Comets are now working it right to left. Picked up by Sosa. Sosa to Rodriguez, who shoots while falling down, and Rafa makes the save. Now into the middle again. Here's Leo Gibson with a drive. Rafa slams the door again. 2 saves there in that last exchange. Now Sorry. Oh, he darts inside and was all alone, and a foul is called against Kansas City.
And I'm thinking, sorry, it's like, Rafa, I was going to score on you that time.
Ray Sorry was licking his chops, there's no doubt about it. 14:26 left until half. 1-0 Kansas City. KC and Milwaukee will meet 5 times in all this season. Here's Marcio Leite. Plays it back to Oliveira. Got Vandegrift to his right. Now Bennett. Vandegrift. Over to Huffman. And back to Bennett. Bennett on back to Rafa. Here's Bennett. Foul called on Milwaukee, and that'll go against Bennett.
So you mentioned that Utica-St. Louis matchup. It's really interesting. Utica and Milwaukee are tied for second, so I'm sure they're going to be doing a little bit of scoreboard watching. Comets, Baltimore, and St. Louis are tied for 5th, looking up at a playoff spot.
So there could be like a leapfrog situation going on this weekend if the Comets can get a victory here and Utica gets a victory over St. Louis. That could vault KC up the table towards the top. Well, not the top, but in position for a playoff spot. And Eric, you and I have talked a lot about that with so many teams in one division in the East. You know, it's not going to be easy. At each game, I think, has more importance this year than when we have had, two divisions in each conference, so to speak.
Well, and every road win is huge. Every home win, you think you almost have to win. And the Comets did lose to Milwaukee, so that puts additional pressure on them, winning at least 1 or 2 this weekend.
And if Kansas City is going to be a playoff team, you and I talked about this, they're going to have to get wins against teams like Milwaukee. Kansas City, pretty confident here, just taking their time, playing it out of the back. Now Kevin Ellis goes long, looking for Leo. Leo gets it back, trying to settle it, sends it into the corner to Lewis. Ball pinballing around, and it comes off to Rafa. Here's Chino back into the game. Look at him run down the left side. He's just fine. On over to Vandegrift. Vandegrift off the boards, looking for Perea. Flashing into the area, but it comes to Ellis of the Comets.
Good job holding that ball there by Ellis.
Matt Stewart goes down, and a foul is eventually called, but looks like it's going to go against Kansas City. It's going to go against Ellis.
They're going to give Lewis a warning for falling on the ball and grabbing her. That was an old Kim Rudfett move. I don't know how many times he did that.
Comets have been issued an embellishment warning.
Embellishment warning. Okay. Ferdinand to Bradley. Bradley shoots in. Bradley scores. Wave goal, and it's 2-0. Bradley was a killer the last time the Wave came to Kansas City, and he strikes again.
A lot of power. We'll take a look. What do you do when you're playing against a 6'4" goalkeeper? You go low. Bradley, one touch, drilled it, bottom right corner. It'll be interesting to see if Milwaukee starts placing more shots low.
Milwaukee Wave goals.
How about Alex Bradley? 9 goals this year for Alex Bradley. Ferdinand's going to come up with another helper. He has 13 on the year, so a goal and an assist for Max tonight.
I get the feeling Alex Bradley wants to keep playing against the Comets.
well as they played in the first quarter, now is the time not to get discouraged. They got to keep coming at Milwaukee, but you can't fall too far behind this Wave team. They're too experienced, and foul called on the Wave. So Marcio Liete is chewing on the official. He didn't like the call. But the Comets will have it deep in Wave territory.
So last game, Leo went across to Ellis. I don't think they're going to let him do it this game.
Tried to sneak it into Ellis. Now Comets trying to jam it in there. Too many yellow jerseys, and Rafa comes up with it.
Comets need to get back.
Here's Oliveira. Comets finally getting back. Oliveira moves to his left. He shoots, and the save is made by Neto. Good shot there, or good save there by Neto, ranging to his right. Liete kicks it over his head, all the way back towards Neto. Neto rises up and heads the ball back to Wave territory, where Berto picks it up for the Comets. Oh, penalty for Stokic. He came in there. Did he come in there with 2 feet? He came in there and cut down Stuart Grable. There's no doubt. 2 minutes.
And I think Milwaukee's a little high-strung from losing a player last game on a hard tackle. This one wasn't nearly as hard, but it was by the dasher board, and I think they took exception to that.
That is a great point, Eric. I bet that's exactly how they felt there, losing a teammate in Mario Alvarez against the ambush on a really tough tackle. Yeah, let's look at this here again.
So Berto, if I recall, Berto loses the ball. There he is. Tries to come in hard. He's double teamed. Stokic tries to cover.
Well, I guess he came in there and he swept the right leg. Ferdinand thought he came in there with 2 feet.
I think because it was by the dasher board, the referee in that situation made the right call. But I do think that Milwaukee, having had the experience of losing a teammate last week, anything that's going to look dangerous, they're going to jump.
Well, this is not good for the Comets. They trail 2-0 and now are a man down, and you're facing one of the best teams in terms of special teams. Power play, the Wave are 55%. That leads the MASL. Here's Bennett down into the corner. You've got 2 players who are 1 and 2 in power play goals, and there's one of them right there, Ian Bennett. LSO actually is tied for first with 5 power play goals. He has the ball right now. Ian Bennett is second with 4 power play goals. They are 12 of 22 on the season. The Comets, here's Bennett and a goal. Power play goal to the Wave. It's now 3-0.
Be a good time for a timeout. We'll see if they call it. Maybe, maybe not. Too much ball movement there. As you said, they are deadly on that. Berto was on the short side. Kyle was kind of caught in between players. Bennett was back post. It's 3-0. And here we go.
I didn't see who got the assist on that one. I know Bennett got the goal. I did not see the assist. So Bennett comes up with his 15th on the year. And we'll wait for the official score, and we'll let you know who comes up with the assist. All right, both teams back to even strength. And
the reason I was suggesting or hinting at a timeout, we saw this with Tacoma when they were here. It was a close-ish game, and then the Comets got up by a few, and Tacoma had a chance to stop the momentum. They didn't, and the Comets piled it on. Let's hope this doesn't happen with Milwaukee here.
Well, Rafa returns the favor. He kicks it out of bounds after John did the same thing. John Sosa of the Comets. And KC will have it. 10 minutes left in the first half. The Comets have had all kinds of chances in front of the Wave goal. Rafa has been good, and so has the Wave defense. But you got to be happy if you're Leo Gibson, because you keep getting chances. And here's Leo being spun around by Huffman, and a foul called on Milwaukee. Now off the boards and through the area. It spins over to Gibson again. Leo darts inside, marked by Derek Huffman. Leo stiff-arming Huffman away. Here comes some help from Vandegrift. Now Ray Sari front and center.
So we're seeing Lee run up front. Leo back again. We've seen this now the last few games.
Looks like you've got big player Matt Lewis in the target. Here's Lewis. Oh, and he gets taken down! Tangled up with a Wave player. And the Comet fans were looking for a blue card, but that just may have been incidental contact there in the box.
Leo sort of put his hand up, but I didn't see a bunch of Comets yelling and screaming like you would normally expect.
Yeah.
So they may be happy with the ball where it is right now. This might be a good time to call a timeout. Set up a play. We'll see what they do.
They got Sosa behind the ball, Gibson to the left and Kevin Ellis to the right, with Ray Lee and Kyle Williams on either side of the post. Sosa to Williams. Williams' drive goes up and over the glass. Very hard angle there from Williams. The players can do it. We see him do it all the time, but that one just off the mark.
That was a really tight angle. I agree with you totally, Nick.
Here's Leite. Leite forward to Ferdinand. Berto gets there first. To Sosa. Then forward to Ellis. Good pass by Ellis to Kyle Williams. Williams back to Ellis. Ellis shoots, and Chino comes up with the block.
He wasn't even looking, and he blocked it. That's the way it's going tonight for Milwaukee.
Bradley takes down Ellis, no call. Berto with the ball, touches it over to Leo. Now off the board, front center, Berto! There it is, Comets goal! It's 3-1.
Well, there's his birthday goal. We'll see if he can get you a comeback birthday win. Nice ball off the wall. Berto slams it home.
What a great play by the Comets. Leo Gibson and Berto working together. They knew exactly what they were doing there.
The chemistry, the experience. We'll take a look here. Nick on the replay. Berto just lays it off for Gibson, makes the run behind Bradley, touches it in. And what I was saying before the top of the game about just who's thinking first. Berto saw the space, Leo saw, and Berto made that move before Bradley could turn. He got to the ball quicker. Comets on the scoreboard.
Huge goal for Kansas City to stop Milwaukee's momentum. And there is Berto. He's got his brow furrowed. And for Robert Palmer, the Kingston, Jamaican native, that's his 4th goal on the season. And for Leo Gibson, that is assist number 12. Action back underway, out of bounds, off of Kansas City, and this is going to give the Wave a chance with a restart here at the top of the arc.
Really good press there by Milwaukee. They created a problem for Neto. Lee tried to bail him out. Ball went out of bounds. Great opportunity for a set-piece goal here for the Wave. He just gave up a goal to Berto Palmer.
3 men on the wall for KC. Liete behind the ball with Ian Bennett to the left and Alex Bradley to the right. LSO just to the right of the post. Liete to Bennett, who shoots and scores! Restart goal to the Milwaukee Wave. And Ian Bennett is dancing a jig on the blue carpet in Kansas City. It's 4-1.
Credit to the Wave. They pressed. They've been picking and choosing their press. They were pressed most of last game. Won that free kick. Look at this run. Comets went down. Bennett went up. Bull. It's 4-1, just like that.
Goal scoring machine, Ian Bennett.
Well, you picked him in the pregame. Said, let's watch, and he delivered.
All right, Liete gets the assist, and it's now 4-1. That's a huge goal by Milwaukee. 9th assist for Liete. All right, let's see if the Comets here can answer. A lot of time left here in the first half, 8.5. Game is not out of reach by any means. Got a long time to go here. Kansas City sends it into the corner. Sosa, now back, Lewis with a drive, and Rafa once again, the short hop save, kicks it out of bounds, goes off of Milwaukee. Wow.
And Lewis is using his body and getting in the right places. It's interesting that you think he's a defender. He's kind of fluid between defense and midfield. Comets are just looking for anything that'll get him some space.
Nacho with space. He fires a shot, and that one blocked by Perea. Vandegrift tries to clear it. Hans Dennison uses the boards as well. Gibson back there for Kansas City. Plays it back to Neto. One touch up to Sosa. Sosa to Neto. Back to John. John Sosa, the Comets team captain. Over to Nicolau Neto, making his debut for the Comets here tonight at Silverstein Ice Center's arena. Up to Sosa. Now Sosa to Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams looking for Leo Gibson. It rolls through to Sari. Ray Sari thought about taking it inside, leaves it for Berto. Comets working it around the horn. 7.5 to play in the first half. Berto looking to get it into Leo. Deflected out. Berto goes down. Ray Sari's got it. Sari with space. Shoots. Ding dong off the post.
Wow. There were all sorts of opportunities.
Berto.
3 guys who could have scored.
Ball is just pinging around. Who's going to come up with it? Williams is there. Trying to get it back inside. Max Ferdinand digs it out of the boards. Comets kick it away and hold it in. Sosa. Gibson. Gibson with all kinds of nifty work. Floats it over to Kyle Williams. And then Rafa comes out of goal. And Rafa is hurt. Rafa is hurt, holding his side. He and Kyle Williams got tangled up.
I think some of the Comets looked like they wanted a foul. That was just good goalkeeping from Rafa. Dominating his box.
Rafa is, I don't know if he got the wind knocked out of him or what, but he's in, maybe he took a shot to the rib cage.
At the time, it looked like Kyle Williams got the worst of it. Not exactly sure where he's hurt. But strong goalkeeping.
Yeah, he is holding his ribs right now. Rafa Diaz undefeated this season for the Milwaukee Wave.
Nifty ball from Coach Gibson. He just flicked it off the top of his foot. Williams tried to run under it, and Diaz punched the ball, collided with Williams, and obviously in pain.
Rafa Diaz, of course, forced into action here because Josh Lamos is lost for the season. Well, not lost for the season. If you ask him, he says he's going to come back for the playoffs, but that'll be up to the doctors. He's rehabbing a knee injury. Likely will be out the rest of the regular season. And Rafa, in his place, has been terrific. Again, in 8 starts, he's 6-0. His goals against is 3.6. And their backup, they do have a backup on the team here in Kansas City. It's Matt Eisel. And he has not played this year. He's appeared in 2 games. He's not started a game. He was inactive last year. So, and it doesn't appear that he is out. Well, he's sort of loosening up there behind the bench. But Rafa's moving around again. I suspect that Rafa will stay in this game.
We know a little bit about goalkeepers coming in and out this season, Nick. There have been 4 goalkeepers who've started for the Comets.
There's my friend Dorothy right there in the middle. One of the long-time Comet fans. She goes all the way back to the first days of the Kansas City Comets.
That's fantastic.
So great to see her. I gave her a hug and a kiss when I saw her before the game. She's been a fan for life. 6:46 left to play in the first half. It's 4-1 Milwaukee over KC.
So I was mentioning in the first quarter, I'll do this quickly, that there was no press on NATO. I think they changed tactics here in the second quarter. Those tricky Wave.
All right, let's take a break. 6:46. We'll be right back.
Fred, did you remember to set out the trash?
I forgot, but I'll get it.
And I'm sure you remembered that tomorrow's our anniversary, right?
Sure I did, honey.
Oh, did you remember to notify Missouri 1 call to have the underground utilities marked?
I forgot. But I need to do that before we get started.
Fred, there are some things in this world you should never forget, and that's one of them.
You're right.
Alongside Eric Bergerud, I'm Nick Vassos. Brad Zimmerman, our director here tonight at Silverstein Ice Centers Arena on MASL TV. Great to have you here wherever you might be watching, whether it's Milwaukee or maybe in the Kansas City area or anywhere across the United States, or for that matter, around the world on YouTube. 4-1, Milwaukee with a lead over Kansas City. Comets will have the ball here with 6:46 left to play in the first half. They'll have the ball in front of their own defensive yellow line. Lucas is looking into the corner. Instead, we'll play it over to Neto. Neto on back to Lucas. Boy, what a pass. There's Rodriguez. And that one kicked out of bounds. And they're going to place it at the top of the arc.
Look who just came off the bench, Mr. John Sosa. Lucas Rodriguez exits the field.
Sosa. Ellis. Lee. Back to Sosa. And then all the way back to Neto. These two teams will play in Milwaukee on Monday for Dr. Martin Luther King Day. A special kickoff time at 11:07. Kyle Williams off the boards. Comes back out. Now Leo lofts one high for Matt Lewis. Lewis settles it, trying to get by Liete. Now off the boards. Ellis with a touch. Leo. Grable and Ellis will chase it into the corner, and a foul called on Kevin Ellis as he ran up behind Stuart Grable.
Kansas City foul number 18, Ellis, his first of the half.
Liete to the center circle. Comets win it back there. Here's Stokic. Stokic, one of the leading shot blocker on the Comets. Now Ray Lee. Ball pinballs around. It looked like Matt Lewis was going to go up for a bicycle kick. Comes down to his feet. Lewis is there. He shoots and scores! Matt Lewis gets the Comets' second goal. And the Comets are within 2. Boy, he's been buzzing around the goal all night long, and it finally pays off.
And it's that Lee and Lewis line. We'll take a look. Tenacity there from Matt Lewis. The ball just pinged. And somehow, some way, landed off of Ferdinand's foot right onto Lewis's. Made no doubt of it. It's 4-2. And when you can start getting defenders scoring against Milwaukee, things might start to look headed in the right direction.
Capitalizing on miscues from the Wave. That's a huge thing for the Comets. Matt Lewis with his second goal as a member of the Kansas City Comets. The first home game of the year, Matt Lewis scored the first home goal for the Comets this year. So good to see him back into the scoring column once again. Here's Pereira. He's by a couple of players, and then he gets knocked down to the ground from behind by Adam James, and it's going to be a restart here. 50 feet away, right on the yellow line.
I think it's worth mentioning on the lineups that we got, Ray Lee and Matt Lewis are penciled in as the second defensive line. They look like attackers out there.
Absolutely. LSO with a drive, and that one just wide of the goal, off the top of the glass and banged out of bounds. So goalkeeper distribution coming up for the KC Comets. Nicolau Neto. Actually, the restart will happen in the corner. Sosa runs over. Plays it forward to Adam James. High pressure here from the Wave. Comets calmly get it up across the half line, but knocked away there by Vandergriff. He plays it forward to Chino. Comets get back defensively. Here's Chino moving to his right, now double teamed in the corner. Off the boards, and Bennett flashes in, and Bennett has the hat trick.
What's the stat that you cited last game about all-time goal scorers against the Comets? Not Steve Jungle, not Tattoo.
Ian Bennett.
That guy.
With an avalanche of goals. That note coming from our professor Brian Holland from Hot Winter Nights. Gosh, Ian Bennett, his third goal on the night.
So the Comets try to double team there. Just the perfect bounce for Bennett. It's not that Neto misplayed it. It just came right off the Domino's logo right in front of him. Bennett made a nice cut around James, and it's 5-2 Wave. Early hat trick there for Ian Bennett.
Number 17 on the year for IB26. 4.5 to play in the first half. Comets go back to sawn wood. Every time they get within 2, Milwaukee scores to extend the lead back to 3. Ali Berry over the back of Leo Gibson, and a foul called on the Wave. Again, this would give the Comets a good restart here at the top of the arc. John Sosa comes back on to trigger the restart.
The last couple games, they've tried to look at Ellis on his left foot. We'll see what Sosa does now.
Sosa drives it into the wall. The rebound comes to Ellis. Now to Ray Lee, who bangs it off the boards, but not a lot of pace on that. Rafa easily gathers it up. Liete forward to Pereira. Pereira's pass is picked off by the Comets. Lee to Sosa. Sosa moving to his right. Crosses it over to Ray Lee. Bangs it off the boards, and nobody there. Barry kicks it away for the Comets.
For me, the Comets need to get the ball on that powerful left foot of Ray Lee and see what he can do with it.
Ray Lee was about to go off. He'll stay on. Ray Lee goes off and Matt Lewis comes on. Ellis with the ball for the Comets. Kevin Ellis, 5 goals last week against Orlando. Ellis is averaging 2.5 points per game. Leo Gibson averaging 2.8 points a game. They're among the league leaders in that category. Ray Lee, big left foot over to Nacho. Now Kevin Ellis. Kevin Ellis working on Liete. Good defense there by Liete. Now down to Leo Gibson trying to turn on Barry. Still, and Gibson draws the foul.
It's almost the reverse angle of how Milwaukee scored their first goal early on. Be interesting to see how they set this up. Ellis is in there short. Lee on the back post.
The great Leo Gibson. Kyle Williams to Leo. Shoots! That one too wide to the left. Rebound comes to Kyle Williams. Williams double teamed over to Sosa and then back to Neto. Sosa off, Berto back on. Ray Lee. Back to Berto. He has one of the 2 Comet goals tonight. The other one, Matt Lewis. Ray Lee. Oh, to Gibson. To Kyle Williams. And I don't think he actually saw it, but he deflected it. And Rafa, of course, was right there.
A little more power, and who knows?
Rafa has been there. Now Lee with a drive. Save! Rafa extending to his left and then kicked out of bounds.
But that's what you want to see from Lee. Crank out those shots. Make Rafa make a difficult save.
Wow. Rafa is having a night. Comets can't get frustrated. They gotta keep working. They gotta keep creating chances.
They can take some solace knowing that they're out shooting the Wave. They're just going to have to play some flawless defense here the remaining 2 minutes and a second half.
Neto's got it. Under 2 to play in the first half. 5-2 Wave. Berto. Long into the corner for Adam James. Kid from Kearney battling with Ian Bennett, who's got the hat trick already in the first half. Bennett. He got past John Sosa, and then Ian Bennett goes down and a foul called on Sosa, and Sosa tempted to say the magic words but did not. Great article in the Independence Examiner by Bill Althouse about Ian Bennett, one of the nicest and most approachable players in the MASL. Check it out if you can. Here's LSO. LSO double team. Comets win the ball. Adam James trying to play it up to Stokic. Milwaukee back there defensively. Liete's got it. 1:24 on the clock. Comets trail by 3. Sosa. Now headed by LSO. Huffman kicks it over his head. Who's going to come up with the 50-50 ball? Looks like KC's got it for now. Adam James goes off along with Stokic. Gibson comes on along with Ray Sari. Gibson faces.
1 minute remaining.
Gibson tries to go to his right. Had it kicked away. 54 seconds left.
Once again, the Wave 5 men behind the ball makes it really hard to expect Gibson to score.
Berto with a long drive, and Rafa ranges to his left to make the save. Kansas City working hard to win the ball back. Max Ferdinand kicks it down towards the KC half of the field. Neto comes over and kicks it up to Sosa. Maybe one more chance for the Comets before halftime. Sosa long to Gibson. Leo trying to cross it through. Still banging away, trying to get it through the area. Now he does! Nacho was in the area but couldn't put a boot on it. 19 seconds left. Berto to Ray Sari. Now Perea comes over for the Wave and clears it away. Clock is rolling under 10 seconds to play. Nacho to Sosa. Sosa right up Main Street. Oh, and almost headed in by Gibson. We've got a whistle.
Ouch. Right as time expired, Nick, and it was really unnecessary by Nacho. There was no way we were going to score. And the Comets will start the third period. One man in that Mark Ferguson, attorneys at law, penalty box.
Oh, no.
Blue card assessed to Nacho Flores, 2 minutes for kicking. With Henson Marquardt on turn law penalty box.
Is the discussion here, did it occur after time had expired? Is that what the Comets are arguing here?
I think they're trying to argue that. I think the Wave are trying to leave the field. It looked like Nacho was just trying to do anything to get the ball in the goal. It's just so unfortunate because they were out of time. A really hard 2-minute penalty to take because they're going to have to come together as a team at halftime.
0.6 seconds.
They added time to the clock. There you go, Nick. And as you pointed out, Milwaukee 55% on the power play early in this season.
Well, that is a killer for the Comets. They trail by 3 goals, and the next goal in this game is going to be huge. Either the Comets will cut it to 2 goals once again, or Milwaukee is going to be able to extend their lead to 4 goals when we come back for halftime. A disappointing way for the first half to end for Kansas City. We're standing by here. You can see Stefan Stokic shaking his head. He's not happy as he leaves the field. We'll stand by here to see if we might be able to talk with someone before the end of the half here. Steve Serrano's going to talk with Alan Mayer, the goalkeeper coach for the Comets. Let's go to Steve.
Going on down right now, down by 3. What are you looking for the second half?
Well, Steve, I'll tell you, there is a lot of emotion, and there always is when we play against Milwaukee. They're a very good team, and we just need to. I mean, we've had enough chances. Their keepers come up and made some good saves, but we just need to keep the pressure on them, double, triple team them, and let's. We just need 1 goal to get back in it, and we'll go from there.
Perfect, Coach. Best of luck in the second half. Thanks so much, guys. Back up to you.
All right, Alan Mayer with our Steve Serrano. We are at halftime with the Wave leading the Comets by a score of 5-2. And again, the Wave will be on the power play to begin the 3rd quarter. As well as the Comets played in the 1st quarter and even into the 2nd quarter, that's just so hard to end the first half that way if you're head coach Leo Gibson.
Well, and there was frustration, too. I think the Comets were frustrated because they were hoping to grab a goal there right at the end of the half. The ball was pinging around. Nothing was going in. Nacho tried to make a play. Things happen.
All right. All right, there's Comet. He's on his bike. We're going to take a break. We're at halftime. The Wave 5 and the Comets 2 on MASL TV.
Fred, did you remember to set out the trash?
Oh, I forgot, but I'll get it.
And I'm sure you remembered that tomorrow's our anniversary, right?
Sure I did, honey.
Oh, did you remember to notify Missouri 1 call to have the underground utilities marked?
Ah, I forgot. But I need to do that before we get started.
Fred, there are some things in this world you should never forget. And that's one of them.
You're right.
At Domino's, a delivery gone wrong doesn't just hurt your pizza night.
It hurts our pride. We're going to be expediting this order.
It could be a missing dipping sauce. It could be a wrong topping. It arrives cold.
With Domino's new delivery insurance, if your delivery isn't what you expected, make a claim, and we'll make it right.
I noticed you had an issue with your last delivery.
To make up for it, I brought you a medium pizza.
Oh my gosh, you're welcome. Get 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas delivered for $5.99 each.
And put our delivery insurance to the test.
All right, Comet. One more time around, Comet. Harvesters fling for food. Somebody's going to win it. I feel it. You might be running out of gas.
You do not win money for hitting Comet in the head. If you did, we'd have a lot of winners tonight, Steve.
I know it. Here we go. Comet, come on back. Let's see if we got ourselves a winner. Nate. Nothing but my cell phone again. Still just my cell phone. Harvesters fling for food. No winner. Next time. I feel it next time.
Thank you, Steve. You're all winners for helping out Harvesters.
Back live on MASL TV alongside Eric Bergerud. I'm Nick Vassos. Great to have you here this weekend. The Wave lead it over the Comets by a score of 5-2. All right, Eric, let's take a look at the first half highlights, and we're going to begin in the first quarter where Milwaukee took the lead here.
Well, unfortunate, Nato got a foul early on in his MASL career. Bennett was back post. Sosa took his eye off the ball, and it was a goal for Milwaukee.
Goal number 2 here. This one came off a powerful shot from Alex Bradley. He's been tough against the Comets this year.
6'4" goalie, aim low.
No kidding. Third goal by the Wave here. This one is going to be by, guess who? Number 26. He's a automatic machine. Ian Bennett. Now, this is the first goal by KC. This one was a great play by Leo and by Berto.
Give and go. Berto got a step on Bradley. Birthday week goal for Mr. 51.
And then how about this one from Matt Lewis, Eric?
Sometimes it's better to be in the right place than anything else. Used his body to fight off a defender. Went a low left post. Great goal there for Matt Lewis.
Those are your first half highlights. And Milwaukee leads 5-2 over the Comets. We'll be right back.
Fred, did you remember to set out the trash?
I forgot, but I'll get it.
And I'm sure you remembered that tomorrow's our anniversary, right?
Sure I did, honey.
Oh, did you remember to notify Missouri 1 call to have the underground utilities marked?
I forgot. But I need to do that before we get started.
Fred, there are some things in this world you should never forget. And that's one of them.
You're right.
At Domino's, a delivery gone wrong doesn't just hurt your pizza night.
It hurts our pride. We're going to be expediting this order.
It could be a missing dipping sauce. It could be a wrong topping. It arrives cold.
With Domino's new delivery insurance, if your delivery isn't what you expected, make a claim and we'll make it right.
I noticed you had an issue with your last delivery.
To make up for it, I brought you a medium pizza.
Oh my gosh, you're welcome. Get 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas delivered for $5.99 each.
And put our delivery insurance to the test.
Big round of applause for Rhonda's Elite Acro and Dance Explosion. College would like to say thank
We are back live on on MASL TV here at Silverstein Ice Center's Arena. Milwaukee with a 5-2 lead over Kansas City, and we are at halftime. Eric Bergrud to my left. I'm Nick Vassos. Great to have you here on MASL TV. I've had a couple of questions on Twitter tonight about what we talked about earlier in terms of one of the injured players for the Milwaukee Wave, Mario Alvarez, who was injured in the game at UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. We're talking about Mario Alvarez and Stefan San Luis got tangled up, and Alvarez, according to Giuliano Oliveiro, suffered a broken bone in one of his legs and also had a ligament tear. So put those two together, and I think Mario Alvarez may be lost for the season.
And yet,
I don't know that for sure. Don't know if it's official, but it sounds like an awful injury to me.
And yet, they're not only winning this game, but they're in contention still to win the Eastern title. So, unfortunate for Mario, unfortunate for the team, but it's so much depth that Milwaukee brings to bear every season. We've seen it with their goalkeeping. We've seen it in their midfield too, and they're a force year in, year out.
Comets are going to have to dig deep here, and there they are, gathered up in a huddle in front of their bench. And they're going to be a man down to start this third quarter. Milwaukee will be on the power play to start the third. A couple of other news and notes from around the league. If you haven't heard, Victor France is now a member of the Baltimore Blast. He was traded from Orlando to Baltimore. His visa issues have been cleared, and they should see Baltimore in action in their next game. I don't think Baltimore plays this week. At least I don't have him here scheduled either tonight, Saturday, or Sunday. Also, Yoshio Sandoval and Thiago Freitas, they have also been traded from Orlando to Florida. So the Florida Tropics are getting even better than they already are, and they're 8-1 in the Eastern Division. They just picked up a good defender in Sandoval, and Freitas, who's a very good midfielder as well. Ontario signed Jeff Hughes, who's a former Comet player, and back to Baltimore, they re-signed one of their veteran players, Lucas Roque. So the Baltimore Blast are getting better, and so are the Florida Tropics out there. And two tough teams. Florida stands alone in first place right now. Both Milwaukee and Utica are doing what they need to do tonight to stay in contention for the Eastern title. But I think if you had started the season and someone would have told you, Nick, Florida at this point would be number one and Baltimore would be in fifth place, you probably would have taken that bet against that person. Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I certainly would. I did promise that we'd get a score from St. Louis. Utica is leading St. Louis 3-1. At last check, we had that game in the second quarter. It may have gone to the third quarter now, but 3-1 Utica over St. Louis.
It's at halftime, 3-1 still.
Cool. All right, we're underway, and Milwaukee is on the power play. They are 1 for 1 on the power play so far this evening. 5-2, Wave lead it. Comets really need to hold here. Here's Berto with a shorthanded chance. Berto, far post. Oh, Leo Gibson. Correction, that was Kyle Williams who goes tumbling into the net, and Kyle Williams is shaken up. Kyle Williams is shaken up. The Comets almost had a shorthanded goal there. Kyle Williams racing into the net there off the pass from Robert Palmer. Sean Demure is going over to attend to Kyle Williams.
And he made a great back post run. Good defensive play by Berto. Saw Kyle make that run. It's been an unlucky night for Kyle. We hope he's okay, obviously. Let's take a look at the replay here. Berto looks up. Kyle calls for it. Just missed the inside post. And that has to hurt going to that back net.
Oh, he went into the stands and he hit his back on the stands.
Good credit there to Rafa Diaz asking the referee to halt play there with Kyle Williams on the ground. Great sportsmanship by Rafa.
100%. Kyle Williams going to be okay.
Boy, a shorthanded goal there, Nick. That would have been something. Our old friend Ed Bishop always talked about the rat patrol. Get those four guys out there. You scurry around like rats. They almost did that there. they got to come up big, and Coach Leo Gibson obviously called his number 4. Interesting, he's playing in the back of the diamond here. As they try to kill the power play.
Gibson, Berto, Ellis, and Stokic. Liete, Chino, Ferdinand.
Ian Bennett in the corner.
That's exactly where he is. LSO. Foul called on Milwaukee. 1 minute and 16 seconds left on the penalty to Kansas City.
You had mentioned at the last game against Orlando, Leo starting off as a defender, so not terribly unusual for him to call his own number back there.
Yeah, Leo seems pretty comfortable wherever he is on the field. Ellis trying to head the ball over to Sosa. Liete over to Chino, and then back to Rafa. Now 54 seconds left on the power play for the Wave. Here they come. They're 1 for 1 tonight. And overall, they are 13 for 23. So just over 55%. And that leads the league. Here's Bennett with a chance to make a bid for a 4-bagger. That one saved by Neto. On the near side, Stokic is there. He's tripped up. No call. Bennett gets it back. Bennett trying to slide it down to LSO. Now Liete over to Chino. Chino takes it in. Chino still walking it in to Ferdinand. Neto saves. Over the top. Here is Bennett. Liete. Now Bennett. His drive goes wide. 23 seconds left on the power play. Chino. Left footer. Save! Neto. Now deflected in. Oh, an unlucky goal for the Comets. And fortunate for the Wave. They score. It is now 6-2, and that might have been right after the power play expired.
It's been that kind of night for Nicolau Neto. Made a great save here on the first one, but in arena soccer, you never know where the ball's going to be.
Stokic tried to clear it, but Chino stuck the foot out and deflected it in past Neto. Chino gets his first of the night, and that extends the Wave lead to 6-2.
So technically the power play had expired, so kudos to the Comets for defending that power play, but it doesn't really matter when they score right after, does it, Nick?
It does not. It is a huge goal for the Wave. It is now a 4-goal bulge, and the Comets really have got to get to work here and try to close the gap if they're going to be a player in this game at all. Milwaukee with a 4-goal lead. We're going to see 5 guys behind the ball. It's not going to be easy for Kansas City. Here's Leo. Leo marked by Vandegrift. Now front and center, Lewis takes a shot. Save made by Rafa. Rebound fought for by both teams. Ball pinging around. Bradley settles it on the carpet for the Wave. Out to Perea. Now forward to Vandegrift. Vandegrift looking for a player to play it to, and they'll settle it. And they'll work their offense. Stuart Grable out there now. He has the ball. Grable all the way back to Chino, right in front of his own bench. And we've got a whistle. And this would be the area that have too many men on the field here. The Wave are saying, nope, that didn't happen. There might be a different opinion from the official. The door was open. Ian Bennett looked like he was coming on. So the referees get together and discuss.
I'm guessing no. I only counted 5.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what they saw, but they're the ones who make the decision.
Coming up on Sunday in the MASL, Orlando is at Florida, Utica at St. Louis, Rochester at Harrisburg, and Mesquite travels to San Diego.
Harrisburg plays Rochester again, Nick?
Except Rochester is in Harrisburg this time. Yes, you're right, Eric.
Who's counting?
Yeah, really. All right. Looks like we've settled everything, and we're going to get back underway here. Milwaukee will have the ball. On the field for the Wave, it's Ali Berry, Chino, Ferdinand, Huffman. Oh, here's Bennett again, a four-bagger.
What a great ball from Bradley.
Has got a four-bagger. It's 7-2.
Nice goal, but that pass, unbelievable. Bennett's feeling pretty good tonight. 4 goals.
Telling you, you won't find that kind of service on the plaza. Check this out from Alex Bradley.
Back heel.
Oh.
Nothing Lee could do. Lewis was trying to track back with Bennett. Now that was the line. Just a great goal there by Milwaukee. And what do you do here? You're 7-2. Not to be Pollyannish, but, man, remind our viewers that Milwaukee was down in their last game by 5 goals to St. Louis and pulled 6 attacker in the 4th quarter. So anything is possible in this league, but that one hurt.
11:57, and that one took a lot of air out of this place. Kansas City down by 5.
So now the Comets need to press because Milwaukee's going to be in no hurry to play with the ball. That can work 2 ways. You can steal a goal or you can get counterattacked.
Well, a good chance there by Berto over to Gibson. Leo's shot goes up and over the glass. It's been that kind of night for the Comets.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So it's like the proverbial elephant. How do you eat that elephant one bite at a time? It's just sometimes you see it and it looks so big.
Yep.
You just need 1 goal at this point. That's where you start.
Rafa throws it out to Ian Bennett. Ian with 4 goals on the night. Leaves it for Nacho. Ian Bennett averages about 30 goals a year. And once again this year, he's right at the top among the league's top goal scorers. He's now in his 30s. Bennett from Hamilton, Ontario. Ray Lee thought about it. Put that left foot into it, Ray. Rebound comes out. Nacho tried to snare it.
Milwaukee's seen the scouting report. They know what's happening.
Good ball to Liete. Liete shoots. Neto saves. Rebound out in front. Boy, Bennett was there. And Nacho, a tremendous play to get it away from him.
That's going to be a 2-minute.
2 minutes. And a penalty coming up to Milwaukee. Kansas City will go on the power play with 10:17 left in the 3rd.
Huffman's going to go on the bench and see if they recognized him. Nate recognized him. He'll come walking back out on the field.
Derek Huffman acquired from the Orlando Seawolves, along with Mario Alvarez, who we talked about earlier, was hurt in that last game against the Ambush.
You were talking last game about Orlando only having 2 practices with each other. It's like with so many turnover on that team, just getting a new nucleus familiar, they're going to have some work.
Yeah, and they played so well against Kansas City early on in that game, but really just wore down as the game went on. All right, Comets on the power play this year. They are 42%. They are 5 of 12. They're about 4th or 5th in the Eastern Division in power plays. Penalty killing, the Wave, as you might imagine, are good on special teams. They are 2nd in that category. They kill about 75% of penalties They've been shorthanded 12 times and have only allowed 3 power play goals. Kyle Williams is shaken up again.
He got a look, sent it right at Rafa, which Rafa standing up is going to have no problem with. Rafa in the first half saved, once again, 85% of the shots he faced. Putting up some amazing numbers this year for the Wave.
Sean Demure is out there treating Kyle Williams. And Kyle Williams has a right leg injury. It looks like they might be working on the calf or the inner knee. I don't know if it's didn't know if he took a contusion or if it was if it bent the wrong way.
Capelli Sport is the official gear provider of the Kansas City Comets. Capelli Sport is an innovative sportswear and skiwear brand.
Kyle Williams has already been shaken up once in this game. He flew hard into the back of the goal just a few minutes ago and shook that off. And now they're working on his leg.
We were talking the last time we played Milwaukee here about the inexperience on the field. We'll take a look at this first. So Kyle shot straight at, and the shot off balance. It looks like maybe he twisted his ankle or his knee. Took a rough step. Didn't get a really good plan on that shot, and he'll come off the field. We were talking in the last Milwaukee game about the inexperience on the field for the Comets because of the injuries. But you look at midfield right now and you see Leo Gibson, John Sosa, and Lucas Rodriguez. There's a lot of experience out there tonight, and Milwaukee has taken it to the Comets.
Kyle Williams walking off under his own power. Looks like Kyle's going to be okay. That's good news for Comet fans. Comets are still on the power play for the next minute and 17 seconds left. They desperately need a goal. They have got to score and score soon. Rafa wafts it up into the air. Ian Bennett battling with 2 Comet players, Ray Lee and Sosa for a moment. Ray Lee comes out with the ball for Kansas City, and Ray Lee still going forward, battling, taking on 2 Wave players before the ball is knocked away.
And Bennett's going to get no credit for the defensive play that he just made. He took 10, 15 seconds off the clock. You love, as a coach, to see forwards who play team soccer, in that case, defense on the power play.
Milwaukee burns another 10 seconds by kicking it back to Neto. 36 seconds on the advantage for the Comets. Sosa to Ray Lee, to Leo. Leo shoots, and a power play goal. Comets needed that one desperately. They're within 4.
Good
it's 7-3.
Good ball movement. Sosa, Lee, Gibson. We'll see this on the replay. Which way do you go? Maybe you go right. Lee in the corner, 1 touch to Gibson. No doubt went low underneath Rafa. There's the 1. Now you've got to play stout defense, Nick, and try to get the 2nd.
Power play goals go to number 14,
Leo Gibson is 15th on the year. Ray Lee is 4th assist. 7-3. Comets take another bite out of the elephant. Both teams back to even strength. And here come the Comets with high pressure on Rafa Diaz. He kicks it right up Main Street, and oh boy, the Comets almost got a freebie there. Adam James was right on the doorstep. Comets get the ball on the half line, up to Adam James again. He shoots again, Rafa saves. Berto. Out of bounds, and it'll go to Kansas City. Comets, trying to catch Milwaukee on a change. Here's a drive by Adam James, and that one blocked by Chino. Kicked away by Chino. Max Ferdinand up with the ball. Over to Vandegrift.
Good step.
Sosa steps in front. Wins the ball for the Comets. 7 minutes and 49 seconds left in the third. Comets trail by 4. Comets working it up. Here's Lucas Rodriguez. He'll play it over to Berto. Milwaukee with 5 players behind the ball. Adam James left. Here's Lucas front and center. Now to Leo. Leo holds it back to Lucas. He shoots and he scores! Another quick goal by the Comets. It's 7-4.
All right, there's your second bite, Nick. Now again, got to play stout defense. Get that next bite. We'll take a look here on the replay. Good ball movement. Rodriguez gets the ball into Coach Gibson. He holds it. Run off the ball. Lucas toes it in.
Rodriguez is 4th on the year. Leo Gibson, he has his 2nd assist of the night. He has 13 in all.
So when they pack it in with 5 guys behind the ball and you bring the ball into Gibson, it's going to make it really difficult for him to score. That's where you look at ball movement and who's going to make that run. We saw Berto score on a give and go in the first half, and we saw Lucas on this one too. And so they're finding a way. Very smart timeout there by Milwaukee before it gets too crazy here.
We'll step aside here with 7:29 left to play in the third. Great to have you here on MASL TV alongside Eric Berger. I'm Nick Vassos. Brad Zimmerman, our director, with his entire crew here at Silverstein Ice Centers Arena. Comets have scored 2 straight to climb back within 3. They took the second bite out of the elephant here. And we'll see if they can get something going here. Some Momo. And we're still in the third with a long way to go here.
So I talked earlier about focus and attention, and this is where you have to be very disciplined on defense because one mistake, and Ian Bennett has his 5th goal, and he's saying, I'm the next MASL Player of the Week. So we see Leon Lewis out here again. This is the line that needs to come up big defensively and then counter. They are paired up with Ferdinand and Bennett.
Here come the Comets. Stokic down the left side. He'll cross it into the middle, and it's kicked away by the Wave. Marcio Leite.
Thank you, referee.
Oh, hit it right off of Brian Martin, one of our referees. Over to Nacho. Nacho looking for a teammate. He'll bang it off the boards in the area, and then kicked away by Leite. Good defensive play by the veteran Marcio. Gibson right on the center circle. On over to Ray Lee. Now Nacho forward to Gibson. Back to Nacho. Ian Bennett able to knock it away. Neto comes way off his line.
And Milwaukee lays back rather than pressing him, which is interesting.
Nacho off and Ray Sari comes on for the Comets. Ray Sari has the ball. Looking forward for Leo. Leo with an amazing grab out of the air, settles it, gets it by Huffman. Just amazing skills. Near side it comes to Ray Lee. Left side Ellis. Now to Leo. Back to Kevin. Ian Bennett steps in front and will kick it long. Ray Sari. Matt Lewis goes off. Berto comes back for the Comets. Under 6 to play in the third. Comets down by 3. Sorry. Looking for Ray Lee a little bit off the mark. Alex Bradley is over there along with Leo battling for the ball, and Leo wins it. Now Ellis. Ellis looking in the corner. He's got Ray Sari there. Ray Sari tried to settle it, could not. Milwaukee comes out with it. Here's Bradley. Bradley across the field.
Smart play there by Ellis. Used his body to win that ball.
Alex Bradley on back to Rafa. Ferdinand got banged. A Malachi crunch there between Sosa and Kyle Williams.
Unfortunate for Williams. He had tracked back to take the ball. Sosa gets called for the foul.
That was a Happy Days reference, by the way.
There you go.
4:41 left to play in the third.
Do you only do that when the Wave are on TV there, Nick?
Here's Ferdinand. Look out, that ball in a dangerous area. Neto able to clear it away before Perea jumped on it. Now Grable on the near side too. Here's Neto. Neto to Kyle Williams. Oh, almost deflected in by Pereira. Neto, right spot, right time. Berto out with it now for the Comets, and here they come. Comets moving forward. Adam James fires it in there near post, and Rafa's got his big gloves on it. Kansas City trying to go to 5-5. Milwaukee trying to improve to 7-2. Kansas City could come back and win this game and even their record at 5-5. They would leapfrog a couple of teams in the Eastern Division of the MASL. Meanwhile, Milwaukee, if they get their 7th win on the season, they would pretty much hold. Whoa, almost deflected in by Sosa. They would hold serve there at the top of the table with Florida and Utica. .324 in the third. Ian Bennett understands they're up by 3. Slow things down, set up their offense. Get everybody in position.
Look who came into the game for his first shift. Hector Solario.
Mr. Solario is out there. And he's taking the place of Robert Kelly, who wasn't feeling good tonight. So Kelly's out and Solario is in. Comets, for the first time in a while, have a full complement of players tonight. Rafa Diaz goes 3 lines, and that'll place the ball back on the Milwaukee defensive half. Comets will have it front and center 50 feet away.
Needless to say, a goal here would be huge.
Yep.
And we'll see what John Sosa has in mind.
Back onto the field come Kevin Ellis, Leo Gibson, and John Sosa. Sosa behind the ball. Now Kellis comes over and takes it, and Rafa has to make a pretty nifty save in order to keep it out of the lower left corner. Good strike there by Kevin Ellis. Ellis is scoreless tonight after scoring a mountain of goals against Orlando last week.
Good step there by Ray Lee.
2 minutes and 14 seconds left in the third. Comets trail by 3. Matt Lewis comes on. Here's Kyle Williams. Ellis to Sosa. Kyle Williams runs up on it and shoots and scores! Kyle Williams, he has been knocked down, but he gets up every time, and he hammers that one home to get the Comets within 2.
And there's the third bite of that elephant, Nick. Great ball movement. Less than 2 minutes remaining.
That's 3 straight by KC.
Sosa sees Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams didn't even take a touch. He just placed it. Nothing Rafa could do. Great to have John Sosa back, that veteran leadership in the lineup. And it's a 2-goal game. And now you need to make sure you play very smart defense. Do not want to give up a goal here at the end of the third period.
I can not underline and make that bold, what you just said right there, any bitty brighter. Comets have to play good defense here and not let Milwaukee extend the lead. Kansas City within 2. They've got a little mo going here. 3 goals here in this third. Ball comes off the boards and rolls into Neto. Again, Nicolau Neto making his first start for the Comets. Here's Nacho. Nacho long for Leo. Leo's in the left wing corner. We had Ray Lee open for a moment, but Lee could not get a boot on it. Now Palmer forward to Leo. Back to Berto. Bradley breaks it up for the Wave. And then
watch back post.
Out to now Vandergriff. Vandergriff can't chase it. Vandergriff knocks Nacho down. Neto off his line. It's still loose. Whistle sounds. And we've got a foul called on the Wave.
How many times have we seen Milwaukee counterattack the Comets? You just have to be really careful and choose your opportunities when you're going to push the ball up the field, because if you make a mistake and lose the ball, they will punish you.
Neto okay. Good news. Okay, Comets. On up to Ray Sari. Now to Sosa. 1 minute to play. 1 minute to play in the third. Now Sosa. Looking for Berto. Rafa came off his line to touch it away. Ellis is battling over there with Chino. Sari gets a touch on it, but it squirts out to Huffman. Derek plays it forward to Ferdinand. Ferdinand draws a crowd. Comets win the ball back. 36 seconds left. Gibson forward to Adam James down the right side. Huffman and James are there. James puts on the brakes, turns his back to the goal. Huffman is there. He gets chopped down by James. No call. Still, ball is loose. And Chino comes up with it for the Wave. 20 seconds left to play. Comets trying to win the ball back. Foul called on Chino. And the Kansas City Comets are going to have it. Vandergriff pushes Sari away. And now emotions are high once again. We heard it from goalkeeper coach Alan Mayer. Whenever these two teams get together, the emotions run high.
Yes, there's mutual respect,
yes.
But how many tough games have you called between these two teams over the years?
It's been, in the early when the Comets came back into the fold in 09 and 010, it was dominated by the Wave, and then in the middle of the decade, it was dominated by the Comets, and now here at the as we get into 10 years now, Milwaukee has got the upper hand, but Kansas City is coming back, so a lot of games between these two. Sosa drives one in there, and it's blocked by the Wave. Here's Ellis trying to catch the bouncing ball. Settle it on the turf. 6 seconds left. Now 5 seconds, and a tremendous save by Rafa. Boy, how many times have I said that tonight? Another great save by Rafa. All right, Comets with 3 goals there to end the third and to get KC back into this game. At the end of 3, it's Milwaukee 7 and Kansas City 5. Stay tuned. The fourth and final frame is coming up next.
Fred, did you remember to set out the trash?
I forgot, but I'll get it.
And I'm sure you remembered that tomorrow's our anniversary, right?
Sure I did, honey.
Oh, did you remember to notify Missouri 1 call to have the underground utilities marked?
I forgot. But I need to do that before we get started.
Fred, there are some things in this world you should never forget. And that's one of them.
You're right.
Well, we're back here. Multimodal, checking our phones, checking the scores. This is Eric Bergert alongside Nick Vassos. Comets down 7-5, but they have the momentum, scoring 3 goals. Nick, you have seen a lot in your years calling games here in Kansas City.
I have. I was just chatting on text with former Comet Brian Harris, who won a championship in 13-14. We know Brian Harris, the UMKC product. And it's good to hear from Brian. He was the MVP of the finals that year in the MISL, and from time to time have the good fortune of checking in with Mr. Brian Harris. He's watching tonight on MASL
good
TV.
Deal.
So, Brian, it is always great to talk to you, my friend. Hope you are doing well, and we'll catch up soon. And thank you for watching here on MASL TV. Our friends in Milwaukee are watching us, and wherever you might be watching on MASL TV from around the country, we welcome you in here to the Kansas City area where the Comets trail by 2 to the Milwaukee Wave. It's 7-5, and Kansas City will have the ball to begin the 4th quarter. Comets cannot lose focus here. They cannot, after scoring and climbing back into this, they've got to stay in the moment.
Well, watch number 26 on and off the ball. Defensively maintain possession. I would expect to see Coach Gibson with a lot of the ball here in this 4th quarter, Nick.
Neto almost caught in no man's land, but there you see some of the foot skills there by the Brazilian keeper, KC's new keeper. Now right side for Nacho. Nacho drives one off of Chino and it goes out of bounds. The Comets will keep it here on the right side of the field.
And obviously we didn't see Neto move up in the first 3 quarters. It's going to be interesting to see what he does with the ball on his feet here in the 4th quarter.
Ray Lee on over to Lewis. Lewis has a goal tonight. Ray Sari tracks it down for the Comets and then plays it up towards Kevin Ellis. Ellis heads it and then flick back to Ray Lee. Here's Ray Lee, the KC product, looking to get it to Ellis, another KC product. Rafa comes out with the ball for the Wave. He's been spectacular tonight. Rafa kicks it almost out of bounds. Kansas City now with it. There's Matt Lewis on over to Ellis. Ellis with a chance. Oh, it's off the near side. No good. Great opportunity there for the Comets.
Comets brought their press too. Good opportunity there for Kevin Ellis. The shots went in for him last game, not so much this game, but there's still 13.5 minutes to play.
Here's Berto with the ball, the birthday boy. He's got a goal today, a birthday goal. On back to Neto. Final quarter action here inside Silverstein Ice Center's arena. Kansas City trying to get their first victory over the Wave this year. They won 1 game last year, not at home. They won on the road in Milwaukee. Now Leo Gibson. Now a drive by Sosa. Goes wide to the left. Leo cannot believe he wasn't called for a foul. I can't believe that he split the defense like he did. Comets have had most of the possession here in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Rafa throws it across the half line up to Alex Bradley. Back to Derek Huffman. Stefan Stokic comes on as Leo takes a rest. Now a long ball. Fought for by both teams. Max Ferdinand is over there. Cuts it back to Vandegrift. Now over to Max. Ferdinand scored the game's first goal, an own goal, off the restart back in the first quarter. Here's Adam James trying to cut it back against Ferdinand. Max breaks it up, kicks it away. Vandegrift gives chase along with Stokic, and Stokic slide tackles the ball. Now a drive from Sosa, and a save by Rafa.
He gets down fast.
James with the ball, and on the log roll, Vandegrift blocks it for the Wave. Now Nacho. Nacho with a long drive. That one off the mark. Rebound front and center. Nacho will go off along with Sosa. Now Gibson over to Berto, and Berto almost redirected it in, and it's going to be a handball. Handball, and the Comets are going to get a restart here at the top of the arc. Sosa comes right back on, along with Leo, Kevin Ellis. Kyle Williams back on there along with Ray Lee. Comets have their goal scorers out there on the field. If you have Sosa behind the ball. John approaches. Now Kevin Ellis takes it. Kyle Williams. That one blocked by Perea.
Took a little too much time.
Now a header. Directed at goal! It's a goal! It's a goal by Kevin Ellis! He's on the board, and the Comets are within one. 4 straight by Kansas City.
He was battling. There's that fourth bite, Nick. It wasn't going in for Kevin Ellis. It just, at first you don't succeed. We saw him do, in the last game, 3 shots on goal to score 1. That one was a header off the boards. Found his own rebound. Toe poked it in past Rafa. It's a 1-goal game here, Nick.
7-6. This is almost reminiscent of Milwaukee's game back up at UW Milwaukee Panther Arena, where St. Louis got out to a huge lead.
And here they go. And this momentum is this fickle thing in arena soccer. And so it's going to be interesting to see how Milwaukee plays it. I think for the Comets, you have to realize you have 11 minutes. There is no panic here. You need to play solid defense and watch for that counterattack.
And they're doing a good job for the time being of not losing their focus. You know, they've just scored a goal. They've got to keep their discipline and keep with what they've been doing here over the last 10 minutes. Huffman's pass picked off. Matt Lewis with a chance from the half line just wide to the right. Ian Bennett almost kicked it out of bounds and then headed out of bounds by Huffman. And that's going to give the Comets another chance right at the top of the arc.
Matt Lewis has been really impressive. He's been putting pressure on them, getting in the right place at the right time. Got a goal for his efforts earlier on.
Restart team on the field. Ellis again. Ellis flicks it back to Sosa. Now to Lee. Lee kicks that one out of the universe. That one headed up to the International Space Station.
He did get it on his left foot. Did get a look. Just couldn't keep the shot down.
Kevin Ellis with his 6th tally on the year in just his 3rd game for the Comets. 10 minutes and 37 seconds left, and what a game we got here. 7-6 Milwaukee. Things look bleak early on in the 3rd for Kansas City. Here's Bradley at one end.
Good defense by Berto.
Now Neto. A low screamer right up Main Street, touched by Liete. Now to Bennett. Bennett with the hat trick already. Shoots. Save made by Neto. And he hangs on.
Strong hands there from Neto. He tried to go fast on that outlet to Ellis. Ball didn't reach him. Good positioning there by the rookie goalkeeper.
High pressure from Milwaukee. Sosa kicks it into the corner. Ball bouncing off the glass. Leo saves it. Leo's got it. Oh, he's trying to find Ellis. A little bit too strong. Sosa picks up the loose ball. Slides it down to the corner to Kevin Ellis. Ellis marked by Chino. Now to Gibson. Now to Kevin Ellis. Kevin Ellis on the rebound. Goal! They've got it tied! What a play by Gibson to Kevin Ellis. And we are tied at 7.
Well, Kevin Ellis, he was a little frustrated. The shots weren't going his way. And here we are in the 4th quarter. He scored 2. Once again, Leo Gibson making magical passes. Off the boards to Leo. From Leo to Kevin Ellis. Went 5-hole. And Rafa sees it trickle right between his feet.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight by Kansas City, and they are all the way back. It is tied at 7. The reigning player of the week, that man right there, Kevin Ellis, scoring the last 2 to get Kansas City even with Milwaukee.
Where do you go from here? A lot of momentum. But Milwaukee is a very wise, experienced team. I really would like to be in that Milwaukee huddle right now, just to hear what Coach Oliviero might be having in mind for his team. I would expect Bennett to get a lot of the ball here. Just get back into their routine, their comfort zone, because the Comets started pressing here very successfully in this quarter. Leo, we've been talking about the last few games, playing back away from, he'll come with his back to the ball when he's in the corner, but he's been playing behind the yellow line, trying to create space for his teammates. And look what's happened here tonight. He's gotten some great assists, give-and-go plays, finding Ellis there a couple times.
Amazing. Amazing. We are tied at 7. And again, I'm going to say it again. Comets, they've got it tied. They cannot take their foot off the pedal. They've got to stay with what they're doing. They've got to remain intense. They've got to remain disciplined. They've got to keep their shape in order to keep this thing rolling.
Absolutely. I see Bradley out there. I start thinking, oh, man, we've seen a lot of Bradley here the last couple of games. You got to play team defense. Comets typically don't play 5 guys behind the ball. They just have to keep their shape here, keep their heads in the game.
Well, it's a brand new game, 9:32 here left to play in the game. So let's see what these two teams do, if this is going to be a sprint to the finish or if this is going to be a slugfest. Rafa plays it long and kicked it out of bounds, turns it over to Kansas City. Neto kicks it long, and long it goes out of bounds. So each keeper kicking it out of bounds, and Milwaukee will have it.
We saw Milwaukee press Neto in the second quarter. They've stopped doing it. It'd be interesting to see if they try to apply a little pressure here in the fourth.
Liete battling with Hector Solorio, and what a play by Solorio. Trying to quickly get it up to James. Now Nacho with a touch. He can't get it past Vandegrift, who gets the ball for him with a wave.
Good give and go there.
Vandegrift and Bradley tried the give and go, but a swarm of blue jerseys around, and the Comets get the ball back. Neto plays it into open space to Solorio. And what do we have here? We got a player down, and Milwaukee player is down on the field. And again, from our vantage point, we can't see it. Oh, it's Perea.
Been a lot of players flying all over the ground today here, Nick.
This has been a physical and taxing game. We've seen players crash into the goals, crash into each other, into the boards. And once again, it's Isaac Pereira. He's from Mexico. 18 games last year for the Wave, 15 goals and 6 assists. This year in 8 games, he has 2 goals and an assist with 4 blocks. Updating the score from St. Louis, Utica 5 and St. Louis 1.
That's at the end of 3. They don't need a blue turf to win games, that Utica City team. They are really something.
No doubt about it. Utica leading St. Louis 5-1. And again, folks, Kansas City can win here tonight. If the Comets can win tonight, they would leapfrog over the St. Louis ambush and I think another team or two, but it would just put the Comets in a much better position here as we are now past a third of the season here. What do we have? This is game number 10 for the Comets, so we're closing in on almost halfway in the season. Perea walks off the field under his own power. Good news there. Adam James forward to Ray Lee. Lee chases it in the corner. Marked very closely there by Bradley. Kicks it around the corner. And it rolls into Rafa. Rafa throws it long. Headed by Lewis. On over to Gibson, who settles it quickly on the turf. Gets it by one defender. Now Ray Lee. Now to Nacho. Comets had something there for a moment, but couldn't get the right angle or the right lead in there. Here's Adam James over to Ray Lee. A big pile up there with 3 players and a foul called on the Comets.
Bradley's come up. We saw him score a goal. He's come up big on defense against Ray Lee. They've watched the video. They know that Ray Lee likes the ball with that powerful left foot. They're just coasting him onto his right.
Well, that's just like basketball. If you know somebody is favoring their, if they favor their right hand, make them go left. Smart defense. Rafa kicks it across the half line. Sosa. Stokic. Now sorry. Comets setting it up. Under 8 to play in the game. We're tied at 7. Good game here at Silverstein Ice Center's Arena on MASL TV. Down to Ellis. Ellis has scored the last 2 for the Comets. Front and center, Leo. Now sorry. Back to Leo. His drive. Kicked away by Ferdinand. Gibson slides it in there. Sorry was running in. And Rafa clears it up for the Wave.
Really good anticipation by the Wave goalkeeper there.
Rafa sends a spinner into the center circle. Sosa comes over and tries to kick it downfield, but goes out of bounds. And we've got a timeout. Timeout on the field with 7:12 left to play in the game. Kansas City has scored 5 straight to get the game tied at 7. We'll take a break and be right back. All right, we're back inside Silverstein Ice Center's Arena alongside Eric Bergerud. I'm Nick Vassos. Brad Zimmerman is our director tonight here inside Silverstein Ice Center's Arena with his fantastic crew. Eric, we get an update on the game in St. Louis?
Yeah, it's like they're trailing us. Utica was up 5-1, and St. Louis in the fourth quarter has battled back. It's now a 2-goal game there, so maybe St. Louis has mojo 2 games in a row.
Neto almost a giveaway to Ferdinand. Ferdinand with some space over to Ian Bennett, who shoots just high. Ian Bennett making a bid for number 4 on the night. Now slid into the middle there by Ferdinand, kicked away by the Comets. Bennett tries the volley. That one deflected wide. Shaking up player on the field is Stefan Stokic, holding his right foot. 6:35 to play in the game.
Nato kind of escaped that one. A lot of pressure there. You do not want to see the ball on Ian Bennett's foot in a situation like that. That's where you take a deep breath and say, okay.
Okay, here's something that I've thought about, and you know, this is easier said than done. We all know that Ian Bennett is going to score goals, right? So why not put a man on him the whole game? Do a box and one or something like that. Just keep a body on him.
They've got other people that score. So it's kind of like what we're seeing with Gibson here with the Comets. Defenders are going to tee on him because they're expecting him ultimately, Bennett's such a good player. He didn't have to score. He can pass it to Ferdinand. He can pass it to LSO. They've got options, and so I think the question is, pick your
poison.
Yeah, right.
Right now, Kevin Ellis is poisoned to Milwaukee right now. He's got 2 goals, and Leo Gibson has caught fire. Leo's got the ball in the corner, marked by Huffman. Draws a crowd. Leo still battling forward, able to get the ball to fly across the goal mouth to the other side. Matt Lewis is there, along with Nacho and Perea. Ray Lee comes out with it for the Comets. The Comets are winning the loose balls over the last 5 minutes or so.
Strong play there from Nacho to win that back. And Ray Lee's making a run. Can Nato see him?
Neto sees him, plays it to Ray Lee. He turns, and he fires and scores!
There's his goal.
That's it right there. You called it, Bergerud. Holy cow, the Comets have their first lead of the night. What a ball by Neto, and what a left-footed shot by Lee.
He finally got his space. Give the rookie goalkeeper a lot of credit. We heard he was really good with his feet. Solidly make the run, looked up, just lofted it there in the corner. Right off the boards. Good turn here from Lee. Took a touch. Bam! Thank you, ma'am. It's 8-7.
When he made the turn, I thought, oh, here it comes. Here it comes. This point right here when he turns.
There is absolutely nothing Rafa can do here.
Oh.
Just too much power.
8-7, Kansas City with the lead. Ray Lee, and here come the Comets again. Stokic, back to Berto! It's another goal!
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, Berto.
That's another goal. That is 6 straight goals by the Comets, and they lead 9-7. What a good ball to Stokic. And Rafa's just on an island.
And if you're watching on MASL TV at Bishop, Nate Herron used a patented at Bishop line, "We've got the lead." I can't recall how many times I've heard that watching Comet soccer over the years.
Oh my. Ray Lee, his 8th goal of the year. Neto, again, his first assist. That guy gave Kansas City the 8-7 lead. And then this latest goal by Berto, his 5th on the season. And for Stefan Stokic, he picks up his 2nd assist on the year. Kansas City 9. And Milwaukee 7 with 5:34 to go.
So remember where we were when it was 7-2, and there was an opportunity to fold it and go home and panic, and it was just one goal at a time, play good defense. Score another goal, play good defense, and that's what they've done. They've rattled off 7, and so it's going to be interesting to see what did the Wave do. They went 6 attacker for a long time against St. Louis in their last game, the game they wound up coming back and then losing. And so I don't see anybody with a jersey on. It looks like it's going to be Rafa to start, but we'll see how quickly. We're going to see the replay here. Here's Nato's pass with the Ray Lee turn.
Oh,
he finally got the ball on his left foot. This one did not go up to the International Space Station. He drilled that. And then here comes Berto. That's 2 give-and-go goals for Berto. Nice patch from Stokic. Top shelf, cracked a cookie jar or 2. 2 goals.
2 for the birthday boy. Oh, that is what a great birthday for Berto.
And there you go. Just as I was saying, here comes 6th attacker.
Looks like Chino's going to put on the 6th attacker jersey. So we've got 5:34 left to play. I don't need to tell you, Eric, that is an eternity in the indoor game. So take a deep breath, everybody, all right?
I'm taking a deep breath myself. So it used to be back in the day, and what I mean the day is before smartphones day,
okay,
that you would wait till about 3 or 4 minutes if you were 2 goals down. You would wait till about 2 minutes if you're 1 goal down. in the modern era. That's about the right time. 5.5 minutes.
So here we go. Milwaukee out with the 6th attacker, trailing by 2. The Comets have scored 7 straight here in the 4th quarter. Amazing.
And it's more important here to defend than it is to try to score one the other way.
Leo Gibson does his job. He clears it long.
Nice move by Kyle Williams. He didn't chase the ball. He's holding his shape. Defend, defend, defend. That's what you need to do. Hold your shape. Nobody needs to be a hero here. There's been a bunch of heroes. 5 guys on defense.
And they've got one of the best defensive players out there, Stefan Stokic, out there. He and Leo Gibson are out there. Boy, Leo is shouting instructions. And the Comets are doing a good job holding their shape there as Milwaukee moves the ball from side to side down to Ferdinand. Now here's Chino. He's the 6th attacker. Left side for Marcio Liete. Liete fouled by Kyle Williams. Restart.
That's okay because he didn't get past Williams. Williams dove in. Good foul to take if you have to take a foul there.
So this ball just about 50 feet away from the goal. Liete behind the ball. Under 5 to play in the game. Comets lead by 2. Referee came over to talk to, oh, he's going to mark off the wall here. Stokic. All right, back underway here. Chino. Hassled by Stokic and a foul called on the Comets.
And Stokic is saying, I didn't mean to foul you there. No harm intended.
Ferdinand down to Bennett in the corner. Bennett slides it across the goal mouth, and the Comets kick it away. Every time that Bennett gets his chance to touch the ball, Comets fans' heart rate goes up. Here's Chino. To the corner to Ferdinand. Ferdinand around the boards, and Neto is there.
And smart move by Neto. Some goalies would just see opportunity to score here. Slow it down, hold the ball. Time is on your side.
Ellis, oh, look at Ray Lee, who is running in. Comets right there with their foot on the gas. And now trying to win the ball back. Deep in Milwaukee territory, it squirts into Chino. 3:44 left to play in the game. Comets lead by 2. 6th attacker out there for the Milwaukee Wave. Wave trying to avoid dropping 2 straight. They lost at home to St. Louis and now in danger of losing on the road here in Kansas City. Chino. Liete. Back to Liete. Chino. Comets sitting back towards their own defensive yellow line. Alex Bradley. Now Chino. Liete to the corner. Ferdinand heels it back. Kansas City is there. Gibson trying to kick it long, and he does. Rolling, and Chino is there. Under 3 to play. Changes for Kansas City. Nacho is in the game now. Ray Lee goes off. Liete to Ferdinand. Shoots, partially blocked by the Comets' Kevin Ellis. Timeout. Timeout called by Kansas City.
The only thing I would have done differently with Nato is taken a few seconds off to talk and then call timeout. He'll figure that one out as he gets more arena soccer experience.
So far, so good here. When there was 5:35 left, 6th attacker comes into the game here, and so 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes have gone by, and the Comets have done a good job there holding their shape and a good job defensively.
And they're not. You see a lot of teams when they're on the power or 6 attacker defense, they're automatically thinking, I'm going to get that goal. The fans are going to go nuts. It's going to be great. How many times do you see teams that push too far forward when they're trying to score the goal and then they leave space there in the back?
Yeah.
It's important here, and I think that's why you're seeing Coach Gibson there on the field. You got to hold your shape. And Nato's talking too. That's interesting to see.
He's fired up, looking for his first professional win as a member of the Comets. There's Leo Gibson right there in the middle of it all. Leo with a goal and 3 assists tonight. He's been spectacular once again. Correction, make that. Yep, 3 assists and a goal. Kevin Ellis with a pair of goals. Contributions from Matt Ellis. 2 goals from Berto, the birthday boy. 6th attacker remains in there for Milwaukee. Clock rolling. Kansas City gets it out to Gibson. Gibson skies it into the air, and a foul called on Leo.
Ellis tried to lean in.
Oh, yeah.
Referee saw it. That's going to get called.
Milwaukee presses up, 2.5 to play in the game. Liete to LSO. Left side, Bradley. Now back to Chino. Bradley shoots. Deflected, and Neto snares it out of the air.
Strong hands, strong positioning. Smart goalkeeper.
What an arm. Wow, did you see that?
Threw it long, and here, possession's critical. You're almost down to 2 minutes. Done an effective job. Hold on to the ball. Make them chase you.
Make him, yep.
You got Coach Gibson back there.
And that's what they're doing.
We can start hearing Olay cheers soon. Just hold on to the ball and create space. And
Comets are making him chase. 1 minute, 42 seconds left. Comets lead by 2. Leo, long for Kevin Ellis, and he almost healed it in there. Chino comes up with the save.
That was a great save, by the way. A great shot, great save. You don't normally see 6 attackers do that.
All right, 1:21 left. Here's Bradley with a drive, and he scores! A wave goal! It's 9-8.
So what did the Comets do? They didn't keep their shape.
Nine to 8. Alex Bradley, his 2nd on the night.
And he's probably thinking, I get to play these guys against Monday. Let's take another look at that goal. Too much time there. And just like his first goal against NATO, went across the body, bottom.
Almost.
That's smart.
Yeah.
It's smart.
Almost a carbon copy.
Yep.
His 10th on the season.
And 4th against the Comets, if my math is correct. 2 last game, 2 this game, right?
You would be correct, sir.
Okay, got to shake this one off. They were smart holding onto the ball.
What a game. What a game. Neto over to Sosa. Sosa kicks it long into the corner for Stokic. Stokic settles it. But now back to Milwaukee. Give it back to Kansas. Oh, it gave right back to Berto, and he shoots it.
Good foot save. Hey, when your 6th attacker can get you 2 saves.
Oh, Neto wanted a handball there. Here's a drive out front. Neto swats it away. Ball still loose. Gibson is there. 42 seconds left in the game.
Great presence from the coach there.
Ball out front of the goal. Thank goodness no Wave player was there. Ray Lee out. Digging in the boards there with Perea. Back to Huffman. 28 seconds left. 26 seconds left. Fresh legs on the field for the Wave. Liete walks it in. Bradley to Bennett. 16 seconds left. Gibson is there. The ball is loose. Now the whistle. And what are they going to say? Against Kansas City?
Yeah.
Oh, restart to the Wave coming up with 10.1 seconds left. Oh, my.
They're going to call that on Gibson.
Oh, my.
He couldn't get rid of the ball. 10 seconds left.
Oh, my. This comes down to this. It comes down to this play.
There's Bradley.
What is going to happen here?
My left foot is, let's see who makes a run.
Liete Across the field, Bradley shoots, and it's blocked by Berto, the birthday boy, sacrificing his body. 3 seconds left, 2 seconds, 1, and that's a winner! Comets come back all the way, and they win 9-8.
And even more impressive than those goals that Palmer scored, Bradley was teed up to tie that, and Palmer took one for the team. He's tired, he's spent, but he's going to enjoy that victory.
Palmer is on the ground. Gibson and Ferdinand, players celebrating each other. What a contest in the MASL. Ian Bennett with the hat trick. Kevin Ellis with a pair of goals. Leo Gibson celebrating, congratulating Marcelo Fontana. What a match between these two rivals. This has been an amazing game. And wow, what do we have to look forward to in the rest of the season now? The Comets getting a key victory against a winning team. This is big.
And what I'd say to you, Wave fans watching tonight, if you haven't bought your tickets for Monday's game, please do so, because these teams are going to have a score to settle. There's going to be some hard feelings carried over from this game. I think Milwaukee's going to be pushed hard.
Let's toss it down to Steve Serrano. Steve?
Coach, a very emotional game here tonight. Not exactly what you wanted, but definitely a fun game to watch for fans.
No, absolutely. I mean, we had a 7-2 lead, and we lost 9-8. So we let them go on a 7-goal run. That can't happen. We needed to stop the run earlier. And you know what? We're going through a little tough stretch right now, and we just got to figure it out and come through it.
All right, Coach. Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it. Guys, back up to you.
Yeah, obviously, Giuliano Oliviero disappointed, but what a great comeback for the Comets. We haven't seen this type of comeback from this team in a while against a team like Milwaukee. All right, let's go back down to Steve Serrano. He has the head coach and Leo Gibson. Steve?
Quite the game tonight in front of this home crowd. How does it feel to come back like that in front of all these guys?
It feels great, you know. These guys risk their lives coming out here in the middle of this weather. You know what? We just want to say thank you, and that's how we show it.
What was the difference in the second half? You trailed going into halftime. What'd you talk to the guys? What'd you guys do?
I think, you know, we kind of lost our focus a little bit, focusing on things that didn't matter. I mean, we talked about just staying disciplined and focusing on our game and playing the way we practice, and it worked out good for all of us.
A lot of goals, especially a lot of unanswered goals tonight. That's got to feel great for you guys.
It's fantastic. I mean, we worked really hard over the week, just perfecting our defense, and it's rewarding.
Leo Gibson, 1 goal, 4 assists. A big win tonight. Nate, guys, back up top for you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Steve Serrano. Play like you practice. Have you heard that before from a coach?
Maybe. That's funny. That's funny. What a team effort. I think Berto Palmer is going to be a little sore in the morning, but that victory is going to feel good. And it was a team effort. Guys threw themselves on the ground. Stefan Stokic, I noted a couple times, threw himself on the ground. Leo was playing both ways. Ray Lee scored when he needed to, and the reigning MASL Player of the Week, he may not win it with 2 goals, but he came up in the clutch when the Comets needed his goals.
Huge goals. And the birthday boy, Berto, he had 2 goals, a huge block at the end of regulation against Alex Bradley, and he comes up with the game-winning goal. Congratulations to Robert Palmer. He was amazing tonight.
And to Nicolau Neto.
Yeah.
Okay, he gave up 8 goals, but he came up big. There were some intangibles. He's dominant in the air. His positioning was great. That pass, his first assist that sprung Ray Lee, they're confident with him with the ball with his feet, and I think that then creates opportunities for the Comets. Countering, holding possession, we'll see what they do on Monday.
Man, it's going to be great. Yeah, the next game is Monday with these two teams back together. This one will be up in Milwaukee at UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. Kickoff set for 11:07 on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Monday, January 20th, 11:07 up in Milwaukee. MASL TV will have that game for you. The Comets' next home game is Sunday, January 22nd, when they welcome in the Rochester Lancers. That game will be at 3:05. Ticketmaster and KCComets.com has your tickets. Eric, great to see you. Excellent job tonight. Fans, we hope you enjoyed this great game, this great MASL game. Comets come all the way back after scoring 7 straights and being down 7-2. They win it by a final of 9-8. For our director, Brad Zimmerman, my broadcast partner, Eric Bergrud, and the rest of our Silverstein Eye Center's crew, my name is Nick Vassos. Good night from Kansas City.